how to build a brand new home in 2025 in Ontario, Canada. Yes, that's this video is about. I'm going to give you a step-by-step process, but also I'm going to share some major mistakes that many people make so you can avoid them and have a little bit more peaceful building process. Namaskar, welcome back to my channel. This is Aditya Soma. I'm a real estate investor and realtor and broker owner of SaveMax VinCity Realty here in Windsor, Ontario. This video, I'm talking about new construction for the first time on this channel because now going forward, I see some creative new constructions can actually build wealth for you and your family. So far, I haven't done any new constructions. That's why I haven't talked. But now I'm in the process. I just finished one and I'm also building a couple more in this year. So I thought I would share whatever I have learned so far with my first project. And of course, in the coming videos, I'm going to give you the tour of that project and I'm going to share more what challenges I faced in that project going forward in future videos. So for that, make sure to stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and if you love this video, make sure hit a like button and leave a comment below any questions you have related to real estate. So to build a home in Ontario, the first thing you have to do is decide what you want to build, because this is where I see a lot of people make a mistake. They go just buy a land, then they decide what to build. But that's already too late, because if you want to build a dream home, or do you want to build a home with some investment opportunity, or do you want to build a pure investment property? If you don't know what exactly you want to build, how can you buy the right land for it? Step number one, the most important one, decide what you want to build. Are you going to build a dream home, or you're going to build a home where you're going to live, but also you want to generate some extra income, or you're going to build a pure investment property? Because once you know what exactly you want to build, then the next steps will be much easier. Then the step two, you have to buy a lot, the land where you can build. Because if you have made your decision on what to build, now you just need to find the lot that can accommodate that construction. For example, if you want to build a dream home, now you know how much frontage you want to have, how depth you want your lot to be, and what zoning it has to be. And also another major mistake I see many people do is they don't dig more into the lot, because in Ontario there are a lot of restrictions. Certain lots you cannot even build for next 5 years, not even 10 years, because they're in some conservative area or forest area or different zoning, which would not allow you to do what you're planning to do. So making sure you look for the lot, and before you make any decision, go to the city and ask the city, hey, look, I'm looking to buy this lot and I want to build this particular thing on this lot. What all I need to be aware of? Because the most important one, what you need to know is the zoning. The second important one is you need to know that services. Are the services available? Like, electricity, water line, gas line. What are the services you have available at the lot? How far are they available from the lot? What is the cost that is involved in order to bring the services to your lot? Only once you make sure all these details, then buy that lot. Now step number three, you gotta hire a designer or architect. Many people don't know the difference between designer or architect, because even I didn't know that there is a different terms exist. BCIN designer, a designer who can design drawings for you. Whatever you want to build. Let's say you want to build a home that for you to live in. A designer can do that. A designer can take a small project, anything, a small family home, a family home, or a small investment like duplex, triplex, fourplex. But if you're going for something, a commercial, or you're going for some big multifamily, then designer cannot do it. That's when you have to hire an architect. Again, what is the big difference between architect and designer? The studies they do, the cost that's gonna cost them to get the license. Designer is cheaper, BCIN designer, whereas architect are much more expensive. If you have done the first two steps right, you would hire the right person. And of course, if you don't have the contacts, the best thing to do is call around. Call the people who have done construction, ask them for referrals. If you're doing something in Windsor, Ontario, ask me for referrals. I'll give you, because I have worked with a lot of designers and architects, depends on projects. Get a good designer, because that they can actually determine your cost. Because if you hire a wrong designer and you put certain foundation or certain framing or certain exterior and they didn't think about your budget into mind, then you end up paying much more extra cost for your same design. And number four, now you got the designs done from your designer or architect. And now what you have to do? You have to get the permits from the city to make sure you can build what you're thinking of building. Because don't forget, in Ontario, there is an Ontario Building Code. So every design has to follow that code, and city has to approve and give you permit to start the construction. This can cost you a lot more money. If any city sees that you started the work, they can give you fines, and big fines. If you are not aware of any of these things, remember, even the designer or architect can help you with the permits process, because they have all the knowledge, they have all the connections with the city. They can help you. Of course, it comes with extra fees. So once city review your drawings, once they review your application, once you pay the fees, because there will be a certain fees, then they'll give you approval. And sometimes during this process, they might even ask you who is your contractor or who is your trades that gonna do certain work. So you might have to show that. Once you buy the lot, the next thing you have to do is get a survey done. What survey does? Surveyor, the name surveyor, you will be able to find in your city, who can get all the dimensions of your lot, where exactly your boundaries are, and they'll give you a topography which will tell exactly what's your lot and what services running through your lot, because this is the most important step as well. Let's assume that you got the permits. So once you have the permits, this is the point. Again, if you want to save time, once you already have the drawings ready, you can start talking to builder or project manager. This is the step you have to decide how you're going to build this. Are you going to hire subtrades? Are you going to hire a manager? Are you going to hire a builder? If you hire a builder, the builder will hire all the subtrades and they'll give you a fixed cost. Let's say you're building a 2000 square feet property, they might give you a $300 per square feet cost. Whatever the subtrades gonna charge him, and the difference is his profit. And if you're doing for the first time, this is one of the best steps, because it might cost you more, but you have someone who is experienced. And also, if you're hiring a builder, most of the builders have Tarion warranty. That means they take all the responsibility if anything happens to the project. And the next thing you can do is hiring a project manager. So there are a lot of project managers out there. They do at a certain fees, like you're hiring an employee to manage your project. So what project manager does, they'll have all the contacts for the subtrades. The trades who gonna build the project. If you're going to a builder, you're getting just one quotation. But if you're going to a project manager, you make a decision on which trade to use. He will coordinate all those quotations. He or she will coordinate the whole project to run smoothly. He will make sure material came into the site. He will make sure who is going in what time. The coordination is one of the biggest thing, and this is where a lot of people lose money if you're not planning well in the coordination process. And the last thing is, if you're not hiring builder or project manager and you are going to be your own project manager, you gotta know exactly which trade to use, what stage you have to use, and who are all the good trades, affordable trades, or the type of construction you want to build, who can help you with what. And here I'll run through the list of trades that you need to know so that you are aware of. So when you start the construction, first thing is you need a site preparation, which means you have to prepare the ground and you have to have the foundation guys to pour in the foundation. At that point, you need the site preparation, excavation, and foundation guys. And then once you have that, then you need structural work like framing, and then the exterior work, bricks, and then you need a roofer, and then you need a window installation, all those siding, brick, vinyl, stucco, whatever you're planning to do. And then you need a mechanical guys who is gonna do the plumbing, HVAC, heating and cooling system, electrical, because they're gonna do all that work inside. Again, within the mechanical also, you have HVAC guys separate, plumbing guys separate, electrical guys separate. And then interior finishes, insulation, drywall work, painting, flooring installation, finishing the carpentry work, all the cabinets, any of those, closets, tile work, countertops, any mirrors, any glass work, any light fixture work. If you have any extra work, like, you have to build a deck, or you have to do a fence, or you have to do a pool, you have to do landscaping, and also finally, any concrete driveway work and all those things. So these are all some of the trades you need in order to complete your project successfully. And here's one thing that I learned is, it's the construction, especially when you're doing for the first time, it's going to be very daunting. who is going to go when. Coordination, if you're not doing it in the right coordination, you're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to waste a lot of time, because in the construction projects, the time is money. Because if you're delaying the project by 2 months, you're spending extra cost on holding the lot, on the construction cost. This is where, having a clear picture in mind, knowing exactly who is going to go when, only once you have all that plan ready, then only go into the construction. And the final step, let's assume that you have done all the work successfully. At every stage, remember, city need to inspect. So you need to know what work is done, when you should call the city. So always coordinate with the city inspector who is allotted for your project, and coordinate with that person, because build a good relation. They'll tell you when to call. So if you delay in calling them on certain things, there was one mistake in one of our project. What happened is, we did the insulation and we didn't call the inspector, and we put the drywall in. So he didn't check the insulation. So he made us remove the drywall. So we had to do the drywall again. So there are things like that. You have to make sure city inspections are done on a regular basis. Then only once you're completely done with everything, then they'll give you the occupancy permit, which means your project has been successfully done at this stage. And to wrap up this whole thing, if you're doing for the first time, because my goal with this video is for someone who has aspiration to build the first home. Remember, biggest things is 1, knowing the trades, 2, knowing what project to do, 3, who can do it, 4, at what cost. Having a clear picture on all these things can help you navigate through the process. And if possible, my strong recommendation, don't do it by yourself on your first project. If you want to try saving the cost, but one mistake can cost you thousands of dollars. If possible, if the builder is expensive, hire a good project manager and do it through them, because you have another person who have went through the process again and again, and who knows the trades, who knows at what stage to do all the things and at what stage to involve the city. That can save you good amount of money. So with that, I'll wrap up this video. I hope this gave you some insights about the construction. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And going forward, I was thinking to make a lot more videos on the new construction, because I'm getting into this big time. I'm right now building a 4-unit project, and I have a plan for building a 12-unit project. So I have another plan for building a 3-unit, 2 of them 3-unit, they're in the design phase. So there's a lot of things that I am doing. So I thought whatever I'm learning, I want to share with you guys, so you can take some insights, see if it applies for you. But I can only do it if I see that enough people are interested. So let me know in the comments below, how is this content? Let me know what you want to know about the new construction specifically in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it and share it with whoever you think would need it. And with that, thank you so much for watching so far, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.